Welcome everyone to episode 99 of 1 Hour, 1 Decision, 1H1D. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random, or sometimes request from a Twitter poll game on Xbox Game Pass and decide, well, can frogs wear sweaters?
I'm much more interested in his ability to grip a magnifying glass.
Or lack thereof. This episode, we're going to be talking about Frog Detective, the entire mystery. Developed by Worm Club.
It's a club of worms.
It is a club of worms. We're not clubbing worms. They are a collection of them. And this game came out, well, so this is the entire mystery. There's 3 games in this particular collection. And the first game came out way back in November of 2018. But I don't know, this collection came out to Game Pass in October of 2022.
Yes, and the third chapter came out around that time, or fairly recently, from what I understand.
Cool. So it's nice that they bundled everything for us to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as usual, I played this on the PC, and it was a paltry 681.05 megabytes on the PC. Tom, what about you?
Well, in an interesting turn of events that we haven't seen in a very long time, I had no ability to play this except also on the PC. Bum. But don't you worry out there, because if my dinosaur PC can play this game, and it could, I'm sure that yours can too.
Absolutely. And we give all the praise to the developers for allowing Tom's dinosaur PC to play this as well. So
yes, well done.
That. Well done. But you said it's 0 gigabytes on yours. Did you actually not install it and you just streamed it, or how did that work?
Yes. No. I think the reason I had written 0 gigabytes is because it was a joke. Like size on Xbox One, you can't.
All right, Tom.
Fine. It can't. So, there is no size on Xbox One. It's impossible.
Fair enough. Okay. But what is that game loop?
Well, I think we're skipping a beat here.
Yeah, you're right. Let's start over. What kind of game is this, Tom?
It's a point and click mystery.
Yes, it is. I put a first person mystery solver, though.
What if you don't solve the mystery, Chris?
Well, then you don't beat the game.
Touche.
Yes, thank you. But now let's talk about that game loop, Tom.
Yes, well, the game boils down to talking to characters to get clues and items so that you can solve a mystery.
Yeah. Yep. I pretty much wrote the same thing. I said, talk to people and collect items to solve a case.
That's right. Or in this case, 3 cases.
3 cases. You're right. And speaking of those cases, let's get into it. What did we like about this game?
Well, I've got to say, the humor is absurd. And I put a little note here that Lobster Cop is actually the best detective, but he's presently unavailable. Yes. So you're playing as the second best detective.
Right. Your name is the detective.
Yes. And you are a frog.
You just happen to be a frog, but your name is actually the detective. The second best detective, though, in this case, though, in terms of ranking. Yeah, I absolutely. The humor in this game is just so quirky. I'm so glad, though, that they didn't do any of the like weird noises for the characters during their conversation. You could just read it.
Yes.
So that was very, very good to do for me. And yeah, it was just so goofy, so fun. in that way. Like they were just having fun with the dialogue and all that stuff. Because like I mean, that's all you really do, right? You basically read dialogue and click a few things to solve these demands that these characters want from you. So
you are staring at characters a lot.
A lot of stare.
I noticed that we both said the same thing about the art, and that is that it reminds us of a classic PlayStation game. I wonder if our listeners might be able to guess what game that is. Insert pause here for them to think about it. What did you put there, Chris? What game does it remind us of? Because we both wrote the same thing.
Yeah, I put Parappa the Rapper because I think this would be like the fully 3D version of Parappa the Rapper. I think that's what this would be if they were to remake Parappa.
Yes, so. I agree 100%. Like if Parappa the Rapper was made in a 3D style, it would look exactly like this.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing because I think Parappa's aged pretty well, all things considered. Yeah, because it has that unique little art style to it, and this game, back from 2018, still looks fairly decent for what it is.
Yes,
and I think they also kind of play into the kind of cheesiness of the art too. Like sometimes with the very stiff animations and all that stuff that happens throughout the game, which is pretty funny.
I mean, this is effectively a one woman operation. You know, the person who put this together. So it's set your expectations accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, it's 681 megabytes. I mean, come on, what more can you ask for here?
It's true.
But there is some I want to say the music in this game definitely fits the theme of being, it got me into the mood of a mystery, kind of the film noir kind of, they got that jazz playing in the opening menu system and stuff like that, which is great. I appreciate that. And then even just the regular music that just kind of plays in the background during the cases, thought was fine, was good.
Yeah, it blends in well, and it's just a good match, sets a good vibe. It's not intrusive.
Yeah, absolutely. What else did you like about this game, Tom?
I enjoyed that it was very easy to pick up and play. As you kind of mentioned earlier, there's not a whole lot to do. You walk around, you click things, you talk to people, and that's pretty much it. Like there's not a lot. It would be very easy for someone who does not play video games to figure out how to play this very quickly.
Right. Absolutely. And I have to say I was able to beat the first case. Were you able to beat the first case?
Yes, I was also able to beat the first case.
Okay. So what kind of surprised me was, how stiff the animations were throughout the entire playthrough of that case. And then the dance scene, I was like, okay, they have some pretty fluid animations during the dance sequence. I was like, okay, did they do motion capture? What did they do to get all these it looked pretty nice, all things considered. So I thought that was pretty funny. And to that end, who did you pick to win that dance?
I'm pretty sure I gave it to Mystery Monkey.
You did? Okay. All right. I gave it to Larry, the lobster, because he had some moves though. He did. I felt also kind of bad because he felt like no one was listening to him and all that stuff. So
when you talk over people don't like that.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for that explanation right there.
The other characters said it. The other characters were like, "Hey, oh, you mean that guy who talks over you?"
Yeah. No, but even just the interactions involved. I think you pointed out the alligator. Was his name was Fresh X? Was it
Fresh X? Yeah.
When you meet him, he's just laying on a beach. Yeah, he's just like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's just like, wait, what the hell? Like, it's just very chill, just hanging out. And he's like, I need toothpaste for
Of
my
course.
fresh breath. And I'm like, all right.
Alligators are orny because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
Yeah. So that's why he's happy. I guess I'm very chill. I also love the moment when near the end of spoiler, if you want to consider it a spoiler, it's only the first hour, I would say first 30 minutes of the game, but when your character, the frog, mentions that, like, they go on a soliloquy about how terrible books are and like they're so antiquated and stuff like that, and then they stop, and then the game designer comes on and she's like, hi, I just want to let you guys know that books are great as long as they have like the research and stuff like that, and just make sure you check your sources and stuff like that, and you're good to go. All right, back to the game. And then he continues on saying how terrible books are. After that, I was like, all right, you got me there. That was pretty funny. But yeah, that's all I have right now for my likes. Anything else you want to bring up there?
No, pretty much it for me as well, which brings us to the things we did not like. Why don't you start us off there, Chris?
Well, it's a first-person shooter or a first-person game, not a shooter.
That would be something.
That would be something, taking out all these animals as a frog. There we go. I can't see my feet. That's frustrating. Especially a frog. I can't see my frog feet. That's messed up. I would want to see that.
I would, yeah.
Also, the other thing. Yeah, absolutely. The other thing I was a little confused about is they tell you need to use your magnifying glass, and it's like, I can't leave without using my or leave my room without going and using this magnifying glass. You don't use a magnifying glass at all.
No,
this game. And I was like, what's the point of this? It's just to be silly, I guess. I mean, they had a pretty good fisheye effect, or like a magnified effect when you put it up against things, which is, I guess, is fine. But there was no real purpose to using it, though.
Yes, it was a tool in your toolbox. It's a screwdriver when there are no screws.
Right. Completely useless. What did you not like about this game?
See, you mentioned earlier that you enjoyed that there wasn't the sim talk, going on. But I'll be honest, the game is really quiet because there's no voiceover and there's so much text to read.
True.
It's eerily quiet. And like, besides the background music, there's like almost no sound at all. Like, you don't really, I didn't really notice like sound effects and other like ambient sounds. It was really just the music track.
Well, that first case though is about, like, you're on that island and there's this noise that's happening. And you do hear that noise in the background the entire time until you solve the case. So there's that. But
okay,
I mean, would it have been better for you if there was like that stupid like Peanuts parent talking, or
I don't know. I just know that to me the game felt like weirdly quiet. Like, does your character make sounds when they walk on the sand? I don't think so.
No, you're right. I don't think you do.
Like stuff.
Well, you
like
have no feet, so that's why you're just floating.
Yeah, you're just floating. You're the ghost. Surprise.
Yeah. Spoiler. No, we are not the ghosts in this game, but I do. The other thing was, I mean, this game, there's just a lot of conversations, but a lot of simple conversations. I feel like I don't remember seeing because a lot of it is the conversation trees that happen, right? I think there's a maximum of maybe 4 choices that you have when you have a conversation with someone. I was like, okay. So it was very pointed. It was, to get you to your next destination. Very simple. It was a very, very overly simple game, I think. But I don't know what you think about that. But
I agree with you. I wrote the entire game is just left clicking until the text stops. And like, if that's what your game's going to be, I kind of feel like the dialogue should almost automatically advance.
Right.
Like, it shouldn't like wait for, I guess it has to kind of wait for you because everybody reads at a different speed.
Yeah.
But
right.
it ends up being kind of frustrating to me where I just felt like I was just clicking to advance dialogue. And I'm just like, is this...
Especially if you hit a dialogue that you've already read and you have to go through that again. You're like, oh no, I made that mistake. So it was that was definitely frustrating, especially if it was a longer conversation.
I also did have one other thing that's kind of related to, especially to conversations, which is that there are no facial animations. So like Larry the lobster, when you talk to him, he's just got this shit-eating grin on his face. And you're just staring at this grin the whole time. And he's talking, but he's not like, there's no, you know, like, I don't know, South Park it, right? Just make a couple of shapes and just change between the shapes. I don't know.
Maybe, but I think that goes with the charm of the game. For me, it's just so stupid.
It is, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
but like, you know, at least playing Parappa the Rappa, like when your characters talk, their mouths move, and it's voice acted. That's
true. I mean, and even one of my favorites that we've played so far, Procession and Cavalry, I thought they had their faces move as well.
Yeah, Monty Python style. Like you separate the jaw from the thing and you just move it up and down.
Yeah, so that was great too. But cool. Let's should we move on to our other thoughts then?
Yeah. We talked about it. I think you're going to talk about it too, but I finished that first mystery in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a compilation of 3 games that were previously released independently, so it's a good deal, right? You're getting all the games. It's the trilogy is done.
Yep.
Right? You finish the first one and it goes right into the second one. So if you were someone who were playing these as they came out, that might have been a little less fun, right? Having to wait an unknown amount of time.
I did want to mention one thing I didn't like, or I thought was kind of surprising. Going in between the cases, there was a lot of load times.
Yes. Well, they're completely separate games.
They are, true. But it was like, it just, especially when they were like, I guess, continuing, and then you're getting out. Even when you were like going back to the main menu, there was like a loading screen too. It was like, okay. If I wanted to really nitpick about that, there was some load times in between, which was kind of weird. I did get to start that second case, and it seemed like you get a little bit more things to do because you got a notebook in that one.
Yes.
So I don't know what that does yet, but it's there. It does something. So I guess as each case progresses, maybe you get more features and useless things to carry around. I don't know. Maybe that's the point.
I'm very excited for that notebook to be completely useless in the same way the magnifying glass is.
Yeah. So bad. But yeah, How Long to Beat says this game takes about 2 hours to beat.
Incredible.
The entire collection takes about 2 hours to beat. So, and it's Xbox Cloud Save and Cloud Capable, apparently. Although you were not able to play this on the Xbox.
No.
Because it is not an Xbox compatible game.
No. So
I will have to strike that Cloud Capable from there because that doesn't make any sense. If you can't play it on the Xbox, it isn't necessarily a Cloud Capable game. So get out of here. But there are cloud saves apparently. Yeah. That's all I have on my other thoughts. Are we ready to talk about our final decision here?
Yeah. So I will start, and I will say the first mystery was super simple. I started the second one, and it already seemed a little bit more complex, as we talked about, which I think would definitely make the game better. I think my problem with the first mystery is that it is very simple.
Yeah.
And like there's almost nothing that you're doing other than just clicking through dialogue. But knowing now that I can beat the whole things in just a couple more hours, it's not even a few more hours, right?
Yeah.
I've played a 45 minutes of what is 2 hours. It's like it'll take me less than a time than watching a movie to finish this.
Yeah. You carry around that frog in his fancy sweater. And you like frogs, Tom. So there you go.
I do. He is a reptile, and the game is funny, right?
Yes.
I'm sure I could watch things that would be less funny for another hour and a half.
Indeed.
How about you?
For me, the fact that I can beat this game in 2 hours has already sold me. But it was also pretty funny, like you said. So I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to finish this game because this is definitely something I see myself going back to and laughing my way to the end. Complete this game and maybe get some achievements while I'm at it.
Yeah,
it's possible.
It seems like you could probably knock out each of the mysteries in 45 minutes. So, hey, if you got some time to kill while you're doing laundry or something, here's a game for you.
Right. Exactly. So those are our thoughts. Let us know what you think of this game. Follow us and say hello on Twitter at TC1H1D or shoot us an email at TC1H1D@outlook.com. Check out our streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/1H1D. And if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, send us a comment down below and we'll try to read and respond to them. Because 1H1D is part of the QTV network. And if you like gaming podcasts, check out Quit the Build, a weekly gaming news podcast. And to see that whole lineup of cool stuff, check out quitthebuild.com/network. There we go, Tom.
Yeah, you nailed that.
We did. I did. And now, Tom, we got to find out what we're playing next, don't we?
We do. For a very important episode.
We do. Episode 100. We are in the 3 digits of 1H1D. And friend of the show, Eric from the Unlockables podcast, unfortunately decided that we are playing Vampire Survivors.
I have heard of it, but I have never played it, as is the rule.
Yes.
So I'm interested to see what all the fuss is about.
I am dreading this, but you know what? So be it. It is done, and we're going to check that out on the next episode. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.
But before we get to that, we wanted to let you know about our spectacular sponsor, Winner Winner. Winner Winner is a live arcade claw machine game available on Android and iOS, and it's 100% skill-based. Trust me, if you see me play my games, you know I'm not that great, and I still have won games on my first try. There's hundreds of prizes, even featuring gaming merch from Nintendo. Pick your prize from choices in your particular game, or bank your earnings with tickets to redeem any other prize you want from their wide selection. And for all you lovely people listening or watching our show, you can get bonus tokens on your first app token purchase. Download and create your account, then use the link in the episode's description to enter promo code DALE after you sign in. Check it out. It's clawsome.